Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. 9 NBA games here on Wednesday. A couple teams on a back-to-back in Portland and the Dubs here playing a really high-scoring game right now with Orlando. I'm going to be looking at some insights, the matchup data, everything you need here to get your bets down in the NBA on Wednesday. Going to be using landyourbets.com. We've got the projections up on the site that I'll be using to keep myself honest here with the projections that I have for players as well. And then also going to be using Props Madness and Missouri residents. Betting is about to be legal in December. So got some pretty cool offers for y'all who are in the Show Me State if you're looking for some really nice bonus bets and rewards for signing up for those sports books. So going to get all that to you here. If that all sounds good though, give this video a like. Let's get right into it. Like I said, recording a little bit early here on Tuesday night. So these are the bets that I got out. No results yet, but you'll see right here, I went back to Ace Bailey. For those of y'all who were scared, we'll find out. They're going up against the Lakers, and I'm excited to see Ace play, maybe keep his hands to himself. But these are the looks that we're at right now. Looks like we're on pace to hit for at least a couple of these. Jalen Johnson halfway to his points in the first half. Pritchard already got 3 threes in the first half. And then Vince Will has like 3 assists. All these games just started, so we'll get back to it. But this is where you find everything. We're also going to be looking at the projections here on landyourbets.com using the NBA projections. This is what it's going to look like, a nice, easy chart that we'll just be able to filter really easily. And then, of course, PropsMadness.com, for those of you who have not yet used it, #1 sports betting research tool for all the matchup data, recent line numbers, the best advanced filters around here, so you can kind of see how this players do against specific opponents. Use code LYB. That'll get you 25% off your first month. Hopefully what we're doing here in the show will help you guys learn how to use this product as well. But let's start with this Rockets and Cavs game. So the notes I have: Tari Eason is out for the Rockets again, and it looks like for the Jabari Smith is also questionable right now. If Jabari doesn't play, man, that's huge. I think the two guys that are going to benefit the most here are going to be Reed Shepherd. I still like him. I think, so this is 11.5 in this last game. Probably going to go up to 12.5 in this one, as he's hit over 11.5 in now like 6 straight games. The minutes in these last 6, if we look at it, a couple of these without Tari, at least the last game against the Magic without Eason. So keep that in mind. Eason is the guy above him on the bench who comes out off the bench before him. And now Reed is the first guy off the bench here, as he was in the Magic game, played 29 minutes with overtime. I think he's still in the high 20s, and the minutes in this time frame has been 25, whereas he was looking at like low 20s to start the season. So if we're at 25 and above now for him, still like 12.5 points. He is their 3-point shooter at this point, essentially the spot up guy anyway. KD doing all the pull up stuff. Really nobody else aside from Jabari, who might be out. Once again, another reason I think Reed Shepherd's minutes should climb. And then the other guy whose minutes I think probably climb a bit here are Steven Adams. If Jabari Smith is out, Steven Adams is looking at the start. I don't know who else would start for them at this point. I mean, maybe Okogie, but I know he's been out there a couple times. But I think either Adams starts or he sees another game in like the mid to high 20s. Played 27 with overtime when Jabari Smith was a little bit dinged up in this one, and playing without Tari Eason. Had a 7.5 rebound line in that one, and had 24 rebound chances in 27 minutes. That's what he does, is a rebound chance a minute anyway. Like 18 minutes the game before against Portland, 18 rebound chances. Right? 17 minutes, 13 rebound chances. Coming really close to a rebound chance a minute. If we get this at 7.5, love it, because I do think he gets 50% of his rebound chances, right? Like he does consistently here, and even better than that normally. So against the Cavs, I think Jared Allen will help him stay on the floor. Good opposition for him to be able to have someone to guard in Jared Allen here. So I think Steven Adams is a good look in addition to Reed Shepherd. Steven Adams rebounds. Shepherd I would take on the points. Let's see what Shepherd's threes were at, because I think he actually only hit 2 last game, right? Yeah, and still got the points. That's why I generally, even for a guy like Shepherd, who's taking a good amount of his shots from 3, there's going to be games where he goes 2 for 4 from 3, but 6 for 11 from the field, because the volume is getting higher for him. The minutes are starting to creep up, like I said, to closer to 30 now, in between 25 and 30. So love that for Shepherd as well. Sam Merrill is currently questionable for the Cavs, so just one look there, which is like if Garland and Merrill and Jalen Tyson are out in this game against the Rockets, I think Craig Porter is going to be worth a look. If we get him at like 5.5 points or something really cheap in this one, because he hasn't really had very many games with very many minutes, then I think we love that. I mean, honestly, if this opens at like 7.5 points for him, I love that for Craig Porter as well. I do think he should get up to about 25 minutes at least if we don't have Sam Merrill out there. It's basically him and Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt, and then Lonzo, those 3 guards and Lonzo. So if you're looking at Lonzo, you're looking at the assists as well. That's what I'd be looking at. 4.5 is still beatable, but this Rockets team is what, 6th best limiting assists. They're a team that does not give up the spot up. They stay on the shooters, right? And so they don't really double team the ball handler, which means Lonzo Ball doesn't necessarily have as much of an imbalanced defense. So 4.5 is probably still beatable for him. I mean, he's been climbing over with just 7 potentials, 6 potentials, 8 potentials, not getting high potential assists, but getting really good looks for other players who are making them. Running a bit hot. So against the Rockets, I might sit this one out for Lonzo on the dimes here, even at 4.5. Taking a look at the projections real quick for Houston, I went ahead and filtered this. So the team that we're looking at is Houston, filtered the minutes so that we see them in descending order of most to least. So right here, and by the way, shout out to Swish, the guy powering all of this stuff, Swish Info, aka Trav. He has really updated these minutes to be super precise. And I think it shows here as you've got Amin at 36, Jabari 35, these two about 34, 35. This all makes sense for the starters. Shepard up in high 20s. Now, this is beautiful, man. I think this is very, very dependable for the minutes here. And I do think that as a result, if we don't have Jabari Smith, look at this, 35 minutes, about 14 points, 2 assists, 6.5 boards. That's all props or stats now that go to other guys. Another reason I like the boards to go to Steven Adams and the points to go to Reed Shepard at about 12 points in 28 minutes. But again, if Jabari's out, I think he gets a couple more of that, and 12.5 is a beatable number for Reed. As I mentioned, Missouri bettors want to put you on real quick to the fact that sports betting is going to be legal here in your state on December 1st. And starting now, there's some really good early bird bonuses that you can get a hold of here. If you sign up for BetMGM, you'll get $100 in early bonus bets no matter what. You'll also get up to $1,500 in bonus bets matched if you lose your first bet. This stuff doesn't come around very often. Once a state opens up betting, now the biggest sportsbook bonuses are going to come out. And this is where you need to take advantage of that. If you have a Missouri residence, I would also recommend taking advantage of that. Similar concept here for FanDuel. We've got this stuff in the link of the description. So if you do access the description of the video, there's going to be a link in there specifically for both FanDuel and then one for BetMGM. And if you click those, go through, sign up for an account early, you're going to get a few extra $100 if you do that. Both for FanDuel, you get an extra 100. I think actually a couple 300. Just make sure you check out the details here. But the total bets that you get in bonuses, $400 on FanDuel, up to $1,500 based on what you bet here for your first bet on BetMGM. I'm going to have some separate episodes to help those Missouri specific bettors as we go through this stuff. And then if you do want to sign up for a sports book that you don't yet have in another state here, if you're in a state with all these books already, definitely look up Novig. This is the sportsbook exchange where you can bet against your peers and set your own lines and have people bet against that. You don't bet against the sportsbook. So if you do sign up for Novig, let us know that. You'll get a free month on landerbets.com, get access to these projections, get access to all the bets that I'm putting down. That's just for signing up for Novig using our code LYB. Email us if you do this so that we can get you that free month there. It's support@landerbets.com. Happy to get you guys that free month of access to landerbets.com if you do sign up for Novig using code LYB. All right, back to hoops here, looking at the Raptors and the Sixers in Philly, and there's a bunch of guys probably out. So Embiid is doubtful. Paul George going right back to the bench after his first game back of the season. And then Oubre and Adembona both out in this one. So the two guys I'm looking at that should have some decent numbers to beat here, Trendon Watford and Quentin Grimes. And I think Watford's going to be the one with better value. If you look at his numbers on the season right now, when he's playing on court with Quentin Grimes, with Tyrese Maxey, but no Embiid, no Oubre, no Paul George, all three of those guys missing, Watford's at about 15 points, 8 boards, 6 assists per 36 minutes. And I would expect him to play a lot more than that he did against Philly here, the Clippers, 19 minutes because we had Paul George, we had a couple other guys. Now we're not going to, right? So I do like Watford to get back up into the mid to high 20s for his minutes. And I think he'll have beatable lines. Like I said, 15, 8, and 6. Those are his averages, 15 points, 8 boards, 6 assists per 36 minutes when he's playing in the situation he'll be in on Wednesday night. And then Grimes is the same thing. Now, his points last game were 15.5. I still think that's probably the most beatable number, but I'll probably be going back to the PRA. He ended with 2 rebounds on just 2 rebound chances against a much better rebounding team in the Clippers. The Raptors are 17th in rebounds allowed, and they give up a bunch of offensive rebounds as well, which is key for a guy like Quentin Grimes who comes flying in on the offensive boards. And then the assists, he had 3 on just 6 potentials. This was all in 36 minutes though, and this was a choppy, nasty game against the Clippers where I don't think it's going to be the same with the fast-paced moving the Raptors here who play a lot more transition and the like. So I do think points is the best number, but if we do get PRA again at about 22, 23.5, I still think I'm going to play that for Quentin Grimes. And similar for Watford, I don't know that they're going to make it high enough. I think it's going to be similar, like 8, 9.5 points, probably similar 2, 3.5 assists, 3, 4.5 rebounds. If everything just goes up 1 prop from him from the last game, then I still like the overs for Watford. Moving down to the Hornets, they're in Indiana. These are 2 teams that you want to take props against. I don't know if I can bet on anybody for the Pacers. Maybe Benedict Mathurin, who just came out firing in his first game back from injury. 25 minutes, 25 points, because he took 16 shots and had 14 free throw attempts. His usage rate was 38% in this game. I don't see why that would stop. They don't have anybody else. So if you did want to take somebody on the Pacers, this would be the guy I'd be going for to just eat up all of the usage. maybe he's already off a 25-minute restriction. We'll see. But if he's on the 25-minute restriction, it's a little bit dicey, right? He's got to hit a decent percentage. Then if we look at the other side, though, like the Pacers are now my favorite team to take bigs against. So right now we do have, I should mention, Trey Mann doubtful. I believe Kalkbrenner is listed as a game time decision, but I love him potentially on the double-double here if he does get the start. He played 28 minutes against the Raptors. Again, better defense for sure than the Pacers, and I think this is going to be a great moment for him to get a double-double. I don't know if we're going to get the number. Yeah, we don't get the odds yet because there's no offering, obviously, but the boards came out at 6.5 last game against the Raptors. Better rebounding team than this Pacers team. Not great, but still better than the Pacers. And then the points, he went 2 for 3, didn't have much of an impact on offense. So I'm not going to like love him to get points, but I think I'll take the rebounds as their own prop for him. And then the double-double as well. And I know y'all are going to get mad about Musa. I ended up not betting him last game because I was waiting on the Kalkbrenner news and ended up not liking it as much by the time we got to the number at 8.5. Was hoping for 7.5. We never got it. If we get 8.5 against the Pacers, though, even in 20 minutes, that might be a bit more of a bet. He ended with the 7 last game on 14 rebound chances. Again, though, like you got to give him a big bump against the Pacers for how bad they are against all bigs. So I prefer Kalkbrenner. If we see him playing and starting, I'll bet him and leave Musa alone. But if Kalkbrenner's out, then I'm betting Musa because a big against the Pacers is getting bet. I will tell you that for sure. A couple more looks for you. You got the Kings at the Thunder. Do not expect this to be a close game. The Kings are going to be without Domantas Sabonis, as well as Keegan Murray still not yet back. Don't expect this. Like I said, I don't expect it to be very close. The best play that I like, because I don't want to bet on these 15.5 point spread games very often, is like an Alex Caruso under, which I should have bet here. He only played 2 minutes against the Hornets. He was questionable. Now he's not questionable, but are you really going to put him out there for minutes against the Kings? When you look at the way he's played against bad teams, not getting many minutes, 20 minutes max probably. And even in these last couple, he's played slightly fewer. So I could see this being another big, I'm very confident in the blowout, to be honest. And then when we look at Caruso, he's the guy that you fade in these games because he just is an older guy they don't want to play when they play bad teams. And then coming down to the Nuggets and Pelicans, this is going to be one of the last looks I have for now. Still early. Need the news about like Brunson on the Knicks. He's still questionable. A couple other guys we're not able to bet on. Like Washington has Sarr questionable. I don't really want to bet on them against Minnesota anyway. And then for Chicago and Portland, we don't have any injury news yet. So the last game I really have anything for right now is this Denver-New Orleans game. Christian Brown's still out. Julian Strawther out. And I think Cam Johnson's going to be a good look here. It's a 13-point spread. Another likely blowout incoming, even though it's on the road. But Cam Johnson played 37 minutes against the Bulls, and I think he's going to keep getting high minutes. It might be slightly more blowout-proof than normal guys in the starting rotation, because they need him to sort of get his confidence back. They've got no more Christian Brown. They're going to want Cam Johnson to be a bigger part of this team moving forward. He just hasn't done anything or been a part of much since he's been out here. But now we've got stuff really low. Like last game was 9.5 points. We've been going under on 11, 12.5 points, but 9.5 is now the bottom. We've got to take an over on that. And it kind of goes the same for even the assists and the rebounds. Like 1.5 assists, 2.5 rebounds is just too low for Cam Johnson, even playing within this Nuggets offense that doesn't necessarily, it has so many other guys, but again, without Christian Brown, he's now basically the third most important starter after being, well, let's call him the fourth most important starter after being the fifth. And I just think the PRA, if it's like 14.5 is crazy, especially against the Pelicans. This is going to go up to probably 16, 17.5. But once we get that low against bad competition like the Pelicans, I think this is a good chance to take Cam Johnson's overs. And that's all the time I have for you guys in this one. Definitely make sure to check out LandryBets.com if you're interested in checking out the projections, all the bets we're putting down. Hopefully this night is still going well after I'm done recording here, but we will be back with plenty more action for you guys for Thursday night slate. So until we see you next, happy betting.